catch the ball.
Sean Payton versus Pete Carroll.
But why would Pete Carroll and the management pay that kind of money to Jimmy Graham for him not to be involved more? Especially when the receiver situation in Seattle's not great.
Well, yeah, very vague.
There has to be something we're missing, but Pete Carroll likes to keep it closed until he's leaving, and then he likes to leave a huge trail of destruction. Ask USC.
Trojans.
Moving on to the AFC East.
Lead us off.
With the Bills of Buffalo, I have them going 9-7 optimistically. That is the best case scenario. Tyrod Taylor got his deal, and he would have to not Colin Kaepernick his deal. Sammy Watkins. They have LaShawn McCoy, who had about 1,000-yard rushing season last year, even though he was sharing carries with a guy who's now not even on the team. They brought in Reginald Bush, speaking of Trojans, and Pete Carroll. I don't think Reggie Bush is anything to write home about these days, but he occasionally gives you an exciting play and lets your stud running back sit.
Same type of back as McCoy. So you're really not... You're
diversifying.
Really getting, yes.
I can see that, but you at least give Shady a break, a breather.
Exactly.
I mean...
I'm not high on Tyrod Taylor. Everybody that you just said, I'm not high on. I don't buy into the hype of it. I don't think there's anything there in Buffalo that says offensively, yes, I want to pick this team, and I have them at 5-11, and they can probably go 0-16 also. Yes, and this is what really sells me on. You have the Ryan brothers as the coach and the defensive coordinator. He hasn't been a good defensive coordinator. I can't even think of the last time he was a good defensive coordinator. He definitely wasn't a good defensive coordinator in New Orleans. He wasn't a good defensive coordinator in Dallas. So name another town he was in. He wasn't even good in Cleveland when he was there. So
he also hasn't had the defensive line caliber talent that he's had in Buffalo either.
Marcel Darius, Kyle Williams, who else do they have?
Mario Williams.
I'm just saying their defense, like I talked about their offenses and the pieces that they have put together, and like you said, you're not high on them, but that's the weaker side of the ball for Buffalo. There is no way to me that Buffalo offers it. Like that, they're not even on that watch list for me. I think 6-10 is their floor. I think 9-7 is their ceiling.
I'm high on them for one reason.
What's that?
Their number one wide receivers, last name.
Watkins.
There you go.
Be rad.
It's
dropping those deep truths, those great sports opinions.
So we go from the great city of Buffalo down to South Beach, Miami.
Hot or cold?
Well, what I would like to be in the middle.
You want to live in the Midwest?
Not the Midwest, but
Daniel Tosh once said something about the Midwest, that it's where where dreams go to die in America.
Okay, we'll get into what ideal city you want to play in later on, but we've already passed my city up. But anyway, the Dolphins. Where do you have them at?
8-8. Tannehill is doing fine. Again, they're just a team that like every year some sports talking head goes, I think this might be the year the Dolphins win the division.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But they consistently give you just enough hope until the end of the season where they start to fall off.
We have a little guy by the name of Tom Brady, who, while he is suspended
and 70,
very true, could be the year that good old Dolphins make a push.
Not at all. I have the Dolphins at 7-9. That's their high, and their low is 5-11. Now,
hey, we are.
I don't really care so much about. I mean, I like Tannehill when he was at Texas A&M. I thought he was.
You like somebody at Texas A&M?
I thought he was a decent
in your guys' cult.
Yeah,
I thought he was. You're like stabbing me in the back right
now.
No,
well, once again, my wife is an Aggie, so. But what made Miami last year was Lamar Miller, and he's no longer there. And when it came down to
Lamar Miller is not that good. On the side note here,
no, he's not your power running back. He's the guy he's going to catch that.
Brad's disagreeing with me over here.
He's going to catch. He's going to get his yards.
I don't understand how you guys can be like somewhat high and acceptable of Lamar Miller and tell me that LaShawn McCoy is a bust.
I never said LaShawn McCoy was a bust. I just said the situation in Buffalo is a bust.
Now, okay, all right. Pre-Ezekiel days, what a lot of reports had Lamar Miller as a top Cowboys free agent target.
Which didn't happen.
Correct.
And I don't think the Cowboys really went after him. I
don't think so either.
He doesn't fit the Cowboys' profile. He's not a guy that's going to do pass blocking. He's not a guy. He's going to catch a pass out of. He's like a better Lance Dunbar.
Untreaded tires, pretty much.
I mean, I guess I can see why you're high on him now. I didn't realize where he landed. So if LaShawn McCoy if they would have swapped, if LaShawn McCoy would have gone to Houston, you wouldn't have been happy about that?
No.
You're happier with Lamar Miller.
I never said I was happy with Lamar Miller. I just said that Lamar Miller left Miami.
Where'd your
So
boy
you're not
Aaron?
happy with your all-new backfield?
A little.
Is Alfred Blue there still?
Yes, he is.
Not quite all new. Is where'd Arian land?
Arian Foster? I think
he's on a roster.
He's on a roster somewhere, but
I know he's on a roster.
I want to say Miami.
Switchies? The little trade?
Maybe not a trade. He was on.
He is, yeah, the free agency.
Yeah, he
And
went to free.
They signed him, and Lamar signed with. They actually did swap.
I mean, if he makes it back into the NFL,
If his health stays, Tony Romo syndrome here, right?
Yeah.
If
he's
healthy, he's incredible, right?
if he stops tweeting his MRIs, we'll be all right. So, all right, New England Patriots. Where do you have them?
Standard New England Patriot territory, 12-4 being the high, and 8-8 being the floor.
10-6, 8-8 being 10-6 high, 8-8 being the floor, and I think we're gonna see some shaky legs, especially when it comes to the
So
the Jimmy
when
Garoppolo
6
area.
of their games are Bills, Dolphins, Jets, how do you have them only winning 8 games ever?
That was my low.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do too, but who else do they lose to?
They shuffle running backs in like it's nothing.
For fantasy, it's really irritating.
Jonas Gray,
The guy who just blew out his knee again, who I drafted. Dion Lewis.
LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount. At one point, wasn't Woodhead there?
Let's go all the way back to Corey Dillon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, back when they had Corey, I actually ran with Corey Dillon, so that was like the real good running back
A
situation.
slow
they had.
change of philosophy up there in old Boston.
The New York Jets.
8-8, best case 6-10. I have no confidence in the Harvard grad quarterback.
Okay, so tell me how many games your floor was for the Buffalo Bills,
Over
and your floor for the Jets is what?
6-10.
I can't grasp this, Dave. Like, the Bills are hands down a better team than the Jets, and they're trending upward. The Jets have been at best a 6-10 team and trending downwards. They couldn't come to an agreement with a C-level quarterback until right before preseason because they got so desperate. Their defense is a good defense, much
Right.
like Buffalo's, but not quite as good as Buffalo's, in my opinion.
If you took Buffalo's front seven, you put with the Jets
Secondary.
No one's scoring.
They'd
on
be
that.
Seattle good.
Correct. Well,
Arizona good in your book.
Right.
I have the Jets at 6-10 for the high and 2-14 for the low.
I'm not high on the Jets.
But
Not at
again,
all.
like I said, it's more like a matter of comparison for me, where I'm trying to wrap at how the Bills aren't the Jets aren't an over team for you, but the Bills are. When I think the Bills are clearly the better team, even in their own division.
But even if I go with my best case scenario, 5-11 and 8-8 is not that great.
Sometimes it'll get you in the playoffs.
9 has to get you in the playoffs.
Was no. The Seahawks leaked in
Yeah, they had a
7-9.
losing record.
7-9.
Yeah.
Beast mode
That's
run
what-
against New Orleans.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. 8-8 can get you in the playoffs, Dave. So
It's funny how the NFC West went from the crummiest team with a 7-9 to all of a sudden they're like the elite now. So it's amazing how that kind of happened.
Pete Carroll, shout out. AFC we just finished the East. We're into the South.
And I think we all consensually picked the Patriots as the division champion, right?
Patriots, yep, all 3.
Okay.
Hard not to at this point. Every time someone looks like they could be the upstart, they just fall off to the Patriots' greatness.
They're
Now,
the champ until somebody knocks them off.
Last year's Hard Knocks team, Houston Texans.
Is that how we introduce them?
That's how I
We
introduce
don't
them.
introduce them as Dave's favorite lovable losers.
They won last year.
Won what?
AFC South.
Does that matter?
Not really.
That's like winning the like.
That's like winning, like you're at the gumball machine. You're like, I want a red piece of gum, and a red piece of gum pops out.
I don't even think it's that special. Like
so-
I think it's like you wanted a red one and you got a blue one.
With the little canister that you have to you tear open your fingernails to pop open that you get out of the little
Most
quarter
likely.
machine.
Most likely.
I think it's like being excited. It's like the same as like a country who makes the Olympics but they don't win any medals.
Well, every country makes the Olympics.
Exactly.
Even the refugees.
And I think they should have the right to compete. Insensitive, Dave.
That wasn't insensitive. I'm just saying even refugees get to compete.
Yeah, whatever. So
I have the Texans at 9-7, best case. Worst case, 5-11.
I'm putting them at 8-8 because they're -2 J.J. Watt games. One of those was going to be a win. And then I have them at 4-12 for the floor because their quarterback situation is horrendous. Their running back situation is still questionable, and their receiver, they have one good one who's going to be good regardless of who's throwing the ball.
DeAndre Hopkins.
You don't like Fuller? He's a golden domer. I know you.
740 at the
It's not
combine.
even about like speed kills if you can catch the ball.
So
I just look like what do they really like?
see here. Okay, here's the Houston Texans philosophy.
Give it to me.
Okay, it's a defense base. It's a defense base. It's all defensive base.
Okay.
They're going to score. They're going to score. I wouldn't be surprised if the defense scores more points than the offense.
I mean, if you count J.J. Watt's offensive tight end points as defensive points, then you might have a good case here.
You just line up Vince Wolford as your fullback and put J.J. Watt as your running back. Which was an epic failure in the playoffs, but it was kind of humorous.
Let's first talk about how we've never seen Jadeveon Clowney really play meaningful minutes.
Okay, now I've seen him play in preseason this year. Once again, this is preseason.
Again, preseason.
But that speed was back that he was playing in South Carolina.
He looks like a beat. Yeah, but it's
we don't know.
How long ago did you draft him?
3 years ago.
And how many regular season games has he appeared in?
That's a great question. If I'm going to go off the top of my head, probably 6 or 8.
That sounds high.
I know he missed at least 75% of his rookie year, if not all of it.
I thought he missed the whole thing. I thought he blew out his knee in practice.
He did something.
I thought he was out the first year. Second year, he played a little and then got hurt again.
Right. And then he has a horrible attitude sometimes because they sent him home, and then he's like, "Well, you're not going to play," so he's like, "Oh, I'm going home." And his playoff game, he just rolled out on him.
Okay, I'm going to give you his total stats for the last 2 years.
Okay. Let's see how close I was on games played.
I don't know about games played.
Okay.
But for
probably 2 or 3 sacks at the most.
Tackles in 2014, that was his rookie season. He's credited with 7 combined tackles and an assist. 0 sacks.
Okay.
2015, 40 combined, 11 assists, 4.5 sacks. So that's for the few games he's played. That's a meaningful number of sacks. But if he can't stay on the field, it doesn't matter. And again, to me, he has the easiest defensive end job in the world because there's no way you're not double teaming our friend J.J. Watt. There's no way. And with Wilford in the middle, he's a space eater.
Yeah, and that's
you can't double team all 3 of those guys. It's just not going to happen. I guess unless you keep your tight end in, but you'll get mauled by J.J. Watt, a tight end. I don't know. 8-8, 4-12, but sometimes in the AFC South, 8-8 might get it done.
Well, I always said first 1 to 9 is going to win the AFC South.
Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck just got himself his big boy money.
Okay, so let's go back. Last 2015, he played 13 games.
He played in 13 games?
That's what it says right here. And
that's
2014,
not right.
2014, 4 games.
That's not enough production for.
They did have one of the Hasselbeck brothers fill in for him. I'm confused on which one. There's
Matt?
supposedly. But yeah.
The other one works for the mothership.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the Colts.